Welcome, everybody, to a special edition of the Boone Podcast. I'm Rich Rare from the Infinity Sports Network. That, of course, is Bret Boone. The reason I'm starting the podcast today is because we have a very special show for you for the holidays. It's a Boone family Christmas vacation in Mexico. Bret, where are you?
Yes, it is. We're in Punta Mita. It is the Boone Christmas vacation. And last night at dinner, well, which you'll hear throughout the podcast today, it had a little flavor of the actual Christmas vacation. But it's pretty awesome. We got 22 of us.
And we're going to meet the whole family.
Yeah, haven't been able to get together for a long time as a unit. So Mom's particularly happy, the matriarch of the family, and she's just last night at dinner it was cool to see her and Dad just looking at everything they've started, and it was a pretty cool time at dinner. So we're having so far so good. We're missing one member of the family, and he'll be a special guest for us. Brandon, Aaron's youngest son, or middle. Him and Sergo are close, but he'll be viewing in. Yes, my nephew. He'll be zooming in from Boston. He's got an interesting story why he's not here. So we'll go from there.
We're going to meet the whole Boone clan today. We're going to meet everybody, and this is going to be a special two-parter.
Yeah.
We're going to have everybody join us on the show. So let's kick this off. The Boone family vacation for Christmas. And if you're watching on YouTube, we have a very special guest. Our very, very first guest is the youngest member of the Boone family. That's Lennon Boone. It's Bret's niece, his brother Matt's daughter, and, of course, Savannah. So we've got the elder statesman of the third generation of Boones, and then we have the youngest joining us. Savannah, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Lennon, hi. Nice to see you.
Say hi.
Hi. Nice to see you. Bret?
Now, Lennon, are you excited? Did I cue you up for this show last night? And I told you were going to be the star, right? You're going to be the star? Yeah. I'll tell you, Rich, Lennon, she is the star. She's the one that everybody wants her attention. She's got to pick and choose who she wants to hang out with on the vacation because everybody's trying to get your attention, huh, Lennon? Yeah. You having fun so far? Are you having fun? Yeah. Okay.
All right, Lennon, tell me about your Uncle Bret. What's he like? He's what?
She calls me Meat, Rich.
Meat?
Yes.
Oh, tell me about Uncle Meat.
Lennon, what do you think? Okay, Lennon, we'll go with this. Lennon and myself, Rich, we have this game we play. And we say, who is the number one, Lennon? Number one what? Number one joker, right? Who jokes the most? Okay, I want to hear for the camera, who is the number one joker when it comes? Is it Uncle Bret, Uncle Matthew, Bob? Who's the number one joker?
She's thinking.
Bob. So we joke with Lennon. We'll tease. She'll tease us, and she'll be like, Bob. He's the number one joker. Uncle Bret. What is Uncle Bret? What number am I? No.
2?
No.
1?
1? He's number 1.
He's number 1? Bob's number 1. So
Bob's number 1.
Uncle Bret is 2. Daddy's 2.
Daddy's 2. So Bret's falling down.
And I'm number 3?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, I like
right.
That.
Well, that's better than 2. That's better than 2. I'm 3. Are you having fun, Lennon? Is this fun for you going on this vacation?
Yeah.
What's your favorite part so far? We've only been here for a couple of days. What's your favorite part so far? Swimming in the pool? Swimming in the pool. Okay.
So,
Rich,
Savannah,
take it away.
Savannah, tell me about the Boone family vacation. And you're a newlywed. How in the world did they convince you and your husband, Nick, and you both been on the show to come on vacation with the entire Boone family?
I mean, I didn't really have to be convinced. We're a fun bunch, but it's exciting for Nick to be able to join a first Boone family Christmas with
Vacation, right?
everyone, since he
Did,
hasn't had that experience. And he also comes from a big family, so he's nothing is new to him, but it is fun and all of us hanging out together. Him and
okay,
Lennon were fish in the pool yesterday, and that was fun to watch.
very nice. All right, so honestly, though, you did have to kind of brief him on what to expect, correct?
Yes, but he's been around to know enough, but to see all the chaos in one house that we're all living in, that's been fun for him to enjoy. Very
So,
loud.
so if we invited the Boone podcast listeners to come to the Boone family Christmas, what would you warn them? What would you tell them?
Very competitive games, lots of yelling over competition, good music, and trying to herd a cat, trying to get anyone to a certain beach. That's pretty hard, but we all end up in the same spot. So be dynamic, be ready for anything.
Bring your thick skin, Rich.
Yes.
That's what.
yes.
Yeah, I want to get into that. I mean, what's the conversations like around the card table?
We had an interesting one last night.
We're competitive, and we have opinions.
And Savannah has strong opinions. I love, because Savannah and I are pretty like-minded on a lot of topics. But Savannah will dive right in. I mean, if we got Uncle Aaron and Grandpa Bob and myself and Uncle Matthew, and then you've got Nick and Jake Boone that are young pro ball players. It's quite a conversation, but Savannah gets in and mixes it up like she's a ball player too. So it's very spirited debates.
Definitely.
When you all get together. Okay, so tell me just about growing up as a Boone. Tell me about your favorite Christmas present. Tell me about what was life was like growing up for Boone holidays.
I think I reflect on all our Boone holidays. They were super fun. Always loud, always full of games, we're a big game family, which is one of my favorite parts. But I would say favorite Christmas present that I had to work hard for and convincing to get was probably a puppy. And that took many years. But my dad said one day that if he got ever traded to the Padres, and we lived in California, I could get a dog. So one day I heard that, and Uncle Matthew hooked it up and went and got me a dog before they agreed. But
and then ask Savannah what, but ask Savannah when the dog, and Chewbacca was an awesome dog, and he's passed away a few years now.
You talked about Chewbacca on the show before.
When it was all said and done, though, who had to go put Chewbacca, when that time comes, and we all get it with our pets. I'm not a pet guy, never have been, but once I get a dog, I really like my dog. And Chewbacca did it. He had me wrapped around his finger, and Chewbacca got sick at the end, and we all come to that point with our pets. And when we had to go put Chewbacca down, guess who had to do it? Not Savannah, who wanted the dog.
All the appointments, and I couldn't handle one more. It was
right.
So Dad gets to wear the ending.
That's what dads do. That's what you're supposed to do. You can't let your little girl stand there and cry like that. You're supposed to take one for the team.
That's the reason I don't like getting dogs. Now I got sucked into a dog now. My second dog as an adult, and I'll tell you, this dog is awesome. I love him. He's Milo, but one day I'm so negative. I think the one day, who's going to be the one? And it's always me. Savannah, that's why I don't like getting dogs, because I'm a sucker and they wrap me around their finger.
Savannah, how much did he complain when?
Has a correction. You didn't go alone. She joined.
Yes, that's right. Grandma was with me. It was my mom and me that put Chewbacca down together.
See,
nobody else could do it.
Time out. You didn't say that to Kirk Herbstreit. You said you had to go by yourself.
No, Mom was
You
there.
didn't know. When Herbie came on, you didn't mention that your mom drove you.
Oh, well, you can clarify that. Mom will be coming up later in the program. You can clarify that, Rich, if Savannah, that's really keeping you up at night.
Savannah, how much of a fit did he throw when Uncle Matthew, when Lennon's daddy brought you a puppy?
Honestly, he wasn't the mad one. It was more my mom. But yeah, Chewbacca wasn't that puppy. Chewbacca was loved by everyone. Zeke was not. And yeah, we had to not have Zeke anymore. So it was a fail. But Chewbacca was the light of everyone's life, that little guy.
Chewbacca was cool. He was cool.
What's the best Christmas present you ever got your dad?
Oh, that's a good question. I get him a lot of necessities, but also I throw in a fun t-shirt usually every year. I think I've got him a shirt. You know, one of his sayings is fish. I've definitely gotten him fish related apparel.
Because he loves Swedish fish.
He loves Swedish fish, but just that's his saying, fish.
I just like the
even if
word
you're making
fish.
chicken on the stove, he's saying fish. So it's just kind of
Yeah, it's tough to understand the logic. There is a method to the madness.
Right.
But I would ask him what his favorite gift from me has been.
Okay. She said recently she got me one, Rich. I don't know if anybody online, they probably have. You've seen it. There's a picture of a porn star, right? The man,
Okay.
and then he's a meme that goes around TikTok, Instagram, and he's naked. Have you seen the meme?
No.
Big black guy porn star. Well, I don't know why I'm
afraid of this.
Right. Well, Savannah got me one of those, and when you put coffee into the mug, he comes alive.
Oh gosh.
It's a black mug, and if you accidentally put hot water in it, it's a surprise. Didn't know it would be as graphic as it was. There was an exclamation point over the area, but that was a surprise.
It's classic, and everybody that's listening that knows what I'm talking about. It's the famous meme that was going around the internet. But and Savannah got me the mug. So
I was waiting.
I can remember.
I was
that's
waiting
one of my
for
favorites.
an ashtray.
Right. So you don't know what you were asking for.
Yeah.
Yes,
no. I am now afraid.
But that's Savannah's sense of humor, and that's how we roll, Rich.
Yeah.
So,
I am now definitely afraid of how the rest of this podcast.
Now I don't know if that's my favorite all time, but that's one recently that I remember, and it's a good one.
Is he
Lennon,
hard to
what
buy
do we
for?
got?
Say it again.
Is he hard to buy for? I got to imagine he's pretty.
I feel like for the big things that he wants, he'll get himself. But no, I think he's pretty simple. If you throw in some Swedish fish in there and a couple of new beanies or some shirts, he always needs that. And he's a happy camper.
All right. I like it. All right. Let's end this with you guys. Like I said, we're going to meet the entire Boone family. So, Lennon, you want to tell everybody Merry Christmas? Very sweet. Savannah.
Yes.
Holiday wishes, and do you have a New Year's resolution?
Holiday wishes, just a safe and happy year where everyone's healthy and just thriving. And then New Year's wish, I would say finish my second book.
Wow. So I've got 2 Boone authors on the podcast with us then.
You got 2. Maybe a future third.
Maybe a future third. Did you read your dad's book?
Yes, I did. Years ago.
Years ago? Okay.
Yeah.
They sell them. They sell them at the T-Mobile bookstore or book gift shop.
Really?
Yeah, they still have copies of them.
I'll have to stop by when we're there this year.
Yep.
There you go. All right. Hey, Savannah, Lennon, thank you all for joining us here on the Boone podcast. Merry Christmas to you and a Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas.
See you guys.
There you go.
All right, Rich. Next up, we got a special guest coming up. Go ahead.
So do you remember when your daughter was at that age?
When she was little? Yeah.
Yeah, when she was Lennon's age?
I did. You get to the point now where my kids are pretty much grown up. My youngest, we've still got Malia in the house who's 17, but my youngest boys are 20 years old. And you see Lennon, and then you remember back when Savannah was Lennon's age, and you're always like, oh, I wish I could have her back for a minute. But then you see what that entails, and it's like, do I want to go through that all again? No, but but it's really cool seeing them when they're young and just they're like clay. They're being molded, and it's cool. Lennon's the star of this show so far.
So
I mean,
everybody dotes on her.
Everybody's looking for her. She's a real charismatic kid. She's just one of those kids that everybody wants to hang with, and she picks and chooses. She's like a puppy. When everybody wants to pet the puppy and the puppy knows it, she picks and chooses who she wants to hang with. So you're lucky if you get a piece of Lennon for 20, 30 minutes at a time.
Well, that's awesome. All right, coming up on the program, I'm going to tell you, we're going to meet for the first time ever the Boone podcast, Bret's wife, Krista. We're also going to meet Nick Allen coming up here in just a moment, Bret's son-in-law. And then we're going to make this actually into a two-parter. So coming up is part one we'll have for you before Christmas. And then after Christmas, while you're driving home, we'll have the second half, which will feature the matriarch of the Boone family, Sue Boone. We'll also have Bob Boone and Uncle Aaron. Aaron Boone will join us the second half of this podcast.
Yep, you got it. We're going to have them all.
Yeah, so you're going to actually meet the entire Boone family. So, Bret, are you nervous about letting the world see what the Boones are really like?
I'm really not.
This is like keeping up with the Kardashians.
Yeah. Well, not as much. It's not as dramatic.
I think it could be. You could be a reality show.
Well, I'll tell you. Last night at about 2:10, I was this far away, and I say this far away from being that dad that comes down and cracks some skulls. And I said, no, I'm going to let them be kids for another 15 minutes because they're below me. There's a basement in the house that we're in, and it's right below where I'm staying. And when they come crashing in on the golf carts at 2 a.m, I hear people cooking and like I said, I was this far, but I let them be and they eventually went to sleep. So it was all right.
All right. And so, like I said, we're going to get the entire crew coming on here, and just let us know when we have our next victims. All right. So let's go out and go to the other side of the Boone family vacation compound. And we're going to welcome in Nick Allen.
No, what? Rich, we're going to go with Brandon Boone.
Oh, Brandon Boone. I'm sorry.
Via satellite, he's coming to us from Boston. And
so
he's going to explain why he couldn't be here.
All right, so let's bring Brandon in. Brandon Boone is standing by. This is Brandon Boone, the pride of the North Carolina Tar Heels. He's in Boston right now for work. He works at he goes to UNC, part of the football program, and we're welcoming Brandon Boone onto the Boone podcast. Brandon, how are you?
I'm fantastic. Thank you for having me. I'm actually still down in Chapel Hill.
Okay.
Fly out tomorrow morning to head up to Boston for our bowl game, the Fenway Bowl on the 28th.
Bret.
Awesome. Brandon, are you missing us here? Because a lot of guys are going, we miss him. But I try to explain to everybody. I said, Brandon he's got a big bowl game. He can't just pick up and go on vacation. And, because the people that really don't understand it, they're like, why isn't Brandon just tell him he can't make it? He's got to go on vacation. I said, that wouldn't fly. That wouldn't fly for his guys.
No, absolutely not. I have some people who expect me to be here. And it's something a lot of people just can't say,
Well,
hey,
explain to the people listening.
Let me jump in here for a second. So Brandon is your nephew who lives back east. He's Aaron's son.
Correct. He lives in Connecticut.
So we'll make sure that everybody understands this is Arnie's son who goes to school in Chapel Hill, part of the football program. Now, Brandon, you understand this because as a kid growing up, there were probably times where your dad was working and he wasn't there for a holiday or a birthday or something. So you know what it's like as a kid growing up and the responsibilities. Tell us what you do with the football team.
Yeah, so I'm an offensive assistant out here for the North Carolina Tar Heels. I help with basically anything the coaching staff needs, from data to creation of plays to helping out at practice. I do a bunch of different aspects of the college football world, and right now we're preparing for that final game.
Remind everybody who you're playing.
We're playing UConn, University of Connecticut, which is actually my home state. So it's a little weird. A bunch of people I know are going to be on the field. I'm playing against. A bunch of people will be at the game, and I'm excited for it. But it's a big deal, especially with what's going on with the program right now down here. So it's been a lot.
Well, do you mind if we touch on that? I mean, how excited are they that Bill Belichick. Have you got a chance to meet Coach yet?
I haven't got a chance to meet Coach yet. He's really busy with the transfer portal. College football is a lot different nowadays with NIL. So it's a lot different of a scheme. He's been busy, I'm sure, doing everything he can to prepare the team for the season next year. And we're going to take care of the players we have right now and to try to go out and win that bowl game. It's been a lot, and I think that's part of the reason I definitely have to be here. Having a new bunch of new coaches around, a bunch of new personnel people around. It's been a weird middle ground experience going through a coaching change in a program, especially for my first year ever working it. So it's been hectic, but it's kind of what you sign up for in this college football world.
And Bret, for your nephew Brandon, they're going to have a pro style model. So it's going to be Coach Belichick. His son Steve is going to come be the defensive coordinator. And Bret, in college football, we now have general managers. So Coach Belichick actually is bringing in a general manager to run the program.
Well,
yes,
that's pretty awesome. And it's I don't know. It's the more I think about it, and this trip so far that we're having, Brandon, a lot of people asking, we know Brandon wants a beer. What are your thoughts? I know you're at where you need to be, and you're getting to talk to are you having any interactions with your cousins? Because I'm sure you're on. You're texting back and forth.
Oh yeah, I got a.
What are they telling you so far?
Oh, I got a lengthy FaceTime last night at dinner. From all of them.
Really?
Passing the phone. Oh yeah, I got a lengthy FaceTime. I get videos every few hours. All that. I think I've accepted around 4 FaceTime calls so far.
Yeah.
It's good to see everyone and know I'm missed. I wish I could be down there.
Well, they were talking about you last night. Grammy was saying, well, we have to do it next year because Brandon has to be a part of it. And I said, well, next year, Grammy, he might be in another bowl game. So we have to pick another time throughout the year to make
college football playoff, Brandon. That's what I'm calling college football playoff for UNC Chapel Hill.
We're hoping. We're hoping.
Tell me what it's like growing up a Boone.
It was a lot, It's funny I work in football, considering baseball was pretty much my whole family's life, and especially as my dad's for the past 7 years now. It was a lot. I grew up in Arizona for first 12 years of my life, so I was around spring training and all of that. I was a lot closer to everyone else. So unfortunately, I don't get to see Uncle Bret's side of the family too often now. Moving out to Connecticut, but it's been awesome. I wouldn't trade my family for anything, and I love my family and I miss them, and I wish I could be in Mexico right now.
So tell me about your Uncle Bret.
The number 3 jokester now.
Number three
jokester in Lennon's category, yeah.
Oh, I miss Uncle Bret. It's been a while. I just saw him out this summer for basically half a day before I had to head out. But it's great. One of my few first memories is going to his house out in California for Christmas when we lived in Arizona, growing up there and playing with Isaiah and Judah in their room, and having Grammy's green Jell-O for Christmas Eve dinner.
That's right.
I miss all of that. And,
it's a staple.
It is a staple. I do miss it. Whenever Grammy's comes out to Connecticut, I always make the green Jell-O because I miss it so much, and it's awesome.
Does he give you any advice?
Any advice?
No.
I wouldn't say advice.
What kind of uncle is he? Is he the one that's going to call and joke at you? Is he going to get on you? Is he going to give you advice? Is he going to be?
We're lucky to get time together at all, Rich. We don't get to see each other, talk too much.
When you were a little kid, did he? When you got someone,
when we were a little. No, we lived in separate places. Me and Aaron was playing. I was playing. We were always Aaron lived in Arizona. I lived in California. So It's not like we grew up with spending a ton of time. We get together around the holidays. That was pretty much it.
Yeah, Uncle Bret was always the kind of poke at you, make jokes. Uncle.
That's what I'm getting at.
Always.
He is a joker then,
and he still is.
He's the number 3 joker.
Yeah, number 3 jokester doesn't come without some merit to it.
That's right.
Yeah, he's always messing with you, making jokes, kind of making you smile. It's a good vibe.
I mean, Brett, this is pretty impressive for your nephew.
Well, I'm
Being in a
excited.
big time program like this, I mean,
Let me tell you,
you got to be proud of him.
When we knew we were setting this up last night, and I was most excited when I called Brandon. I called Brandon late at night. I said, we got to get him in on this because he's the only one missing, and I'm not get to spend any time with. So last night when he answered the phone, I called him late. I said, he's a young strapping man. He's not going to be sleeping. And he was awake, and he said, hey, Uncle Brett, how you doing? I said, Brandu, you got to jump on the podcast tomorrow because everybody misses you, and I get the chance to see his face, and it was cool. So I was excited about that. I thought about it after dinner because I put together this, okay, and you'll see as the podcast plays out here, everybody's in twos, and I'm like, well, wait a minute, we got to get Brandon in. We got to zoom him in via satellite. So we ended up doing that. So this is the one most because when this is over, Rich, I'm going to go out and deal with these 21 knuckleheads out here. Brandon's a guy I don't get to see too often, so I was exciting for me to catch up with him.
That's great. Hey, Brandon, what's the best Christmas gift you've ever gotten?
The best Christmas gift I've ever gotten. Not to outshine Uncle Brett here, but Uncle Matthew gifted kind of. I remember being a little kid up in our Flagstaff house in Arizona, and he gifted just a picture of me and my dad. To obviously my dad, but it was us at a USC Trojans game. One of probably the first college football game I've ever gifted. And I remember just being so happy. I was like, that's really cool. And I'm a huge Philadelphia Eagles fan. So anytime I get a new jersey, I just got a Jason Kelce, Kelly Green jersey.
Right.
I always love seeing that. I wear it probably once a week still, just every Sunday. Even here, I'm repping my Kelly Green Philadelphia Eagles jersey, and we just took a tough loss, but I love anything Eagles.
So you're part of the Boone family, are true sports fans that live and die with their teams.
Yes, Brandon's one of those.
Yeah, you won't meet much of a bigger Eagles fan than me. Me and my dad, we try to go to multiple games a year. He's trying to convince me to go to this upcoming Dallas game after my bowl game.
Oh, you got to go.
I'm thinking about it. It's a lot.
Wait, what are you thinking about? Well, go.
Hey, after 5 days up in Boston in a bowl game, to drive down to Philadelphia is a lot, but especially in the position the Eagles are in. I think this upcoming game won't be much of a contest for them, hopefully. But
yeah, but it's a family time with your dad.
Yeah.
You'll never get again.
Yeah, I'll probably give in and end up going with him.
Yeah, just make him beg you a little bit more. Tell me, how proud are you of your dad?
Really proud, yeah. When he got hired originally as the manager of the Yankees, I remember there's a quote out there somewhere saying, when the Browns went 0-16 before the season was over, I said the Browns had a more likely chance of winning a game before he got that job. And ever since then, he's become one of the most winning managers in MLB history. And I think he's a great influence on me. I give almost all my credit for kind of the person I am. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be trying to be a, college football, NFL, working that field where I am right now. He kind of inspired me to do that. Sent me to a different sport to do it. But same idea for, I kind of want to be him just in my own light,
Be your own man?
Yeah, just in a different sport. And, I'd love to be the head coach for the Eagles someday, or the general manager, kind of like he's, leading the Yankees right now. And, next year will be the year he gets that first ring, and it'll be good.
That's
very
awesome.
Cool.
Let me ask you this. Growing up a Boone, watching your uncles, because you have three, you have a dad, you have two uncles that were professional athletes, your grandfather, Bob, and then your great-grandpa. Does that help prepare you to go into something at your age in such a big-time program as UNC, and you get Bill Belichick and what's going to happen there at UNC, how this thing's going to blow up? Has this prepared you for watching that all your entire life?
I would say 100%. Being around any professional sports world, you kind of know what to expect, either that be media or like people's expectations. You know how a professional system works, and you don't get awestruck as much as I feel like the normal person would. I feel like you know how operations work, you know how that professional scene works, and I think it's a huge advantage going in and allowing me to go in at this age. Is that like it's kind of a regular ordeal for me. I've been around it basically my entire life. So I think it's a huge advantage when starting to go into this world, just having comfortability with it. Yeah, that's what I would say.
Well, Bret, that's a little bit like you because you had an idea. You weren't awestruck when you first got into professional sports. Kind of like your nephew, he's been around this before. He knows it's a business. He knows his way around the locker room and a front office the same way that you did growing up.
Well, I think in Brandon will, when we're talked about this and the boys in the Boone family, when asked, hey, you must have had a real leg up on the profession you chose. And I always answered it this way. I said, I tell you what, I don't know how much it helped me growing up the way I did, but I know it didn't hurt me. And I think Brandon's in a similar, you still, when you get to the big boy level and you got to do a big boy job, yes, pedigree and living the way Brandon's living, it definitely didn't hurt him and the experiences that he's had. But right now, hey, this is a big boy job. And yeah, all that experience, it's going to help you. But you got to go out and do it. And I'm really proud of Brandon. He's smart as a whip kid that's kind of living his dream. And you hear right there him saying, one day maybe I'll be coach of the Eagles. When Brandon says something like that, I actually take it serious. The normal kid would say, yeah, I'm gonna be the president of the United States. And some kid you go, he might be. Well, Brandon might just be that guy that leads the Eagles one day. And Uncle Bret will be calling, go, hey, you got to hook me up with the sideline passes. And Brandon's going to go, you got it, Uncle Bret. I got you handled. So
no, he's going to go, who's this?
Yeah, I'm proud. I'm proud as heck for him, what he's doing, the life he's leading, and I'm excited about this game for him. It's his first bowl game, right?
Right.
Yes.
As an employee, we're going to call you an employee, but no, I'm proud of Brandon. I think everybody's proud of Brandon. I think he knows that, and I was just really glad he could come in and be a part of this podcast today, and know that everybody misses him, and every conversation it seems like, yeah, and Brandon would do that. So you're not being missed, buddy. You're being bantered about. Usually awesome. In a real positive light. No, I'm kidding. Always.
No,
right,
they're going to be busting your chops.
Good. All right. Good luck.
Brandon,
good luck
Brandon,
game, man.
Wait a minute, Brandon. We got to ask you. Give us your holiday wishes and your New Year's resolution.
My holiday wish would be for a win in this bowl game. I want my own Fenway Bowl ring. Just as a little flex to, I own that stadium maybe. And then New Year's resolution would probably be. New Year's resolution. You know what? I want to hit 225 on bench. I'm almost there, but that'll be my goal. I got two brothers who have hit that goal. I got one brother who's surpassed that goal by around 200 pounds already, so they can help me get there for sure.
And you got to keep up with Isaiah too.
No, yeah, because I don't think they like your family name in Boston that much, do they?
Yeah, there's been a lot of jokes made so far about me heading up to Boston. I always just say my first name, especially when up there. But it'll be a cool experience. I love that stadium. Fenway is awesome. And fortunately, it's not Red Sox fans hating on the Yankees. It's
Chapel Hill taking over
football.
Fenway Park.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. I like it. Hey, Bret, when are you going to start rocking some UNC gear?
Well, as soon as Brandon sends it to me, I'll rock it. He's got to send it though. He's got to send it.
I do. Yeah. No, I hook Grammy up with a hat. That's about as much as I've given out so far.
Yeah.
But I'll hook you up.
Yeah, I think the equipment room's going to go, hey, well, you got a Yankee. I'll swap a Yankee sweatshirt for a USC sweatshirt to send to your uncle. So if you could make that happen, that'd be awesome. Hey, we appreciate you taking time. I know it's real busy getting ready for the bowl game, but best of luck. It's an exciting time to be around North Carolina football because you guys are just going to explode on the scene like nobody else's business.
Yes. Thanks for having me, and Uncle Brett, it was great talking to you.
All right, Merry Christmas, buddy.
Brett, hold on a second before we let him go. I think you just got to put the touch on him right now.
What?
You know who we have to have on the podcast next, don't you?
Oh, Belichick. Yeah, we'll talk about that at a later date.
Just be prepared. We're going to hit you up. We want Belichick on the podcast.
All right, next year.
All right, sounds good.
You got it. Take care.
Merry Christmas, Brandon.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
All right, that's pretty cool. I mean, listen, I know you're proud of your family, but having a nephew that's in that position is pretty amazing.
And he's an awesome kid, and he really is. I mean, smart as a whip, and just he's going to be successful at whatever he puts his mind to. By the way, Rich, we got a lot of guests coming up.
We're going to hustle through everybody. I promise.
We're breaking this into
two. We're breaking this into two. So. We'll bring in our next set of guests here in just a second, but I just want to reflect on Brandon for a second. Interesting that he's proud of his name and he's his own man. He's going into his own field, and he's following in the family business of sports. But I think it's really cool that he's doing this in the game of football.
Yeah, and he was a quarterback in high school, and it's an interesting. All the kids are so different in what they pursue, and. I didn't get to see Brandon play, but he was a quarterback in high school. Always loved it. He is exactly like his dad. He's one of those Eagle fans, true and true. I mean, he lives and dies with the Eagles every week. We were just having this discussion yesterday because they lost. And Brandon's the one that takes it really hard, and he kind of sloughed it off. He goes, yeah, it was a tough loss yesterday, but you notice he opened with the Eagles game.
Right.
He's one of those Eagles guys, man. He's in a bad mood when the Eagles lose. It affects everybody around him, but he's one of those passionate kids, but an awesome kid.
Now, how's Arnie with the Eagle losing?
He's not happy, but it didn't affect his day. He was good. He knows. I smiled at him. I said, how'd they do? He goes, they lost. But we ended up having a great day. So.
All right, just checking. All right, coming up next, we're going to meet someone else again. We've talked about her on the podcast. We've never got a chance to meet her on the show. We're going to meet Brett's stepdaughter, Isabella, and she brought her boyfriend.
No.
Did I get this wrong?
You got it wrong.
I did get
Next up, we got
I got to tell everybody, I got the worst chicken scratch email from Brett.
No, the next coming up, I can see it on the screen. We've got Bella Boone, which is Aaron and Laura's daughter, and we got Jake Boone, my oldest son. So they're going to be the next combo up on the Bret Boone.
I'll let you tell who we got coming up next. So,
all right,
are they ready to go? Let's pop them on.
Yeah,
all right, so
they're ready to go.
Tell me who we have.
We got Bella Boone, Uncle Aaron and Aunt Laura's daughter, Aaron's only daughter. And we got Jake Boone, my oldest boy. So they're the combo. Next up on the Bret Boone podcast, we've had Jake on. This is old hat for him.
Yes.
But Bella, she's a newcomer. How you doing, sweetheart? And you too, Jake.
Oh, can you see her?
Oh, we can see you.
We
you're
see
rocking.
everybody. You're on. Hi guys.
You're on.
What's up?
We're rocking.
Hey.
Hi.
Well, Merry Christmas to you all.
Merry Christmas.
Bella.
All right, Rich. What do we got? What do we got so far, guys? Give the podcast audience, the listening audience, give them a little brief synopsis of the first 2 days on this Boone Christmas vacation. Bella, I want your take. Yeah, what do you got?
It's been a lot. There's a lot of moving parts. Took a lot for us all to get here, but I think it's going well. Dinners have been eventful, but yeah.
Well, now explain, why was it eventful at dinner?
I don't know. I think we were at dinner last night for like 4 hours, and I think it just gets a lot of conversations going, a lot of topics to be covered.
Bella, we want to know the truth. You got to go.
Listen,
this is the
Bella's
Boone podcast. We don't hold anything back here.
This is what happens. Okay. Well, you're rolling into a restaurant with 22 people, which is an event in and of itself. And what the Boone dinner typically divulges into after 4 hours at the table is heated debate surrounding the sport of baseball. All right. And that's what happened last night. Going back and forth, different thoughts, different ideas, very passionate, very involved. That's why maybe Bells thought it might have been a little chaotic.
Yeah.
It is funny though, because you've
Who-
got
who's
I
the
mean,
ringleader, Bella?
Savannah.
Who's the one who
Yeah.
pokes everybody and gets everybody going?
Savannah.
Yeah.
Savannah Boone, and we always joke with Savannah. Savannah thinks, and Jake could attest to this. Savannah said, "Dad, if I was a man, I'd be in the big leagues and I'd have a 15-year career." And she says it with a straight face. She tells all of us how good she would be. She's as sure as anybody I know about her knowledge of the game, and sometimes she's a little off. But I'm pretty like-minded with Savannah, so I love when she takes the stage and kind of gets into the debates. I just kind of smile as a dad. I think it's fun. It's annoying to her brother Jake will be like, "Dad, it's like she never played." I said, "Yeah, Jake, that's why she's your sister." But for a dad to watch it, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Bella, tell me about your Uncle Bret.
I mean, we were just listening to Brandon, and I think everything he said was definitely true. Jokester, but they all are. We don't get to spend as much time with them, obviously, just because we live coast to coast. But yeah, I mean, I feel like I've always been close with him, and he always is there to make us laugh. And like whenever he calls us, it's usually for something good or funny. Like it's never anything too heavier. So yeah, echo Brandon's statement.
Bret?
She's Bells. You know, she's a special kid. I don't get to see Bella that often. I mean, I'll tell you, this trip for me, the debates are great, the dinners are great, but it is cool for me because growing up, we always had big Christmases. You know, when I was growing up and I was a little kid, we always had dad and grandpa and the families, and we always had big Christmases. Lately, we still always have a great Christmas. Mom and dad are always involved, but there's a lot of moving parts. You know, our family dynamics gotten pretty complicated. So we've got Bella and her family on the East Coast. So we don't get to have those Boone family Christmases like we did a lot growing up when they were in Arizona, and we could either go to Arizona, they'd come over to California. So, you know, we've been trying to do this for the last 5 or 6 years, putting it together. We finally got the right opportunity, put it together. And just as, you know, I like to have a good time and give everybody a hard time and joke around a lot. But sometimes now as a dad, who's been there, done that a lot, I kind of sit back and just watch everybody. And I'm kind of getting, I don't know, as you get a little bit older, you get a little more sentimental about things. And just seeing all the kids interact, although sometimes I want to wring their neck, it's still really cool for me to see all the nieces and the nephews and the cousins and them all together. It's like I said, I'm getting a little soft in my old age. I'm getting a little sentimental, but I think for me, I'm just a proud dad of my kids, but just a proud Boone, you know, and I look around and I see all these awesome kids that are going so many different directions and aspiring, you know, just they're at different places in their life. They're chasing different dreams, but it's cool to watch them all and how they all pretty much get along and have a good time. They're all very different. Some are similar, some are different, but I don't know. Just as a dad, and I like to sit back and it just kind of makes me smile. Probably how mom and dad are sitting there at the top of the rung, looking at 3 generations of where it started, and being as proud as they can be. Being that middle generation, I just sit there and I'm just kind of proud of all my family and the things they're doing.
Jake, tell me how competitive the Boone family is.
I mean, how competitive do you think we might be? We've been playing.
That's what we want to know.
Yeah, we've been. I'll give you a good little microcosm of our competitiveness. We've been playing a lot of ping pong. At least the boys have downstairs here in Mexico. I'm yet to be taken off the table. You know, winner stays, kind of how it goes. So in terms of competition, there's not much for me, but the rest of everybody else, you know, compete viciously with each other.
Bella, is there a lot of trash talking that goes on?
We lose them?
Do you guys hear us?
Oh,
Yeah,
there
no,
we
we
go.
got
Yeah,
you now.
there you got you. Bella, is there a lot of trash talking that goes on in this Boone family vacation?
Yeah, a lot with the boys and their workouts. For the girls, no, we all get along really well, but for the boys, definitely. I'm a little scared to go out in ping pong. Definitely not as good as them, but yeah, no, it's very competitive, especially within the boys. They take their games very seriously.
Brett?
I don't compete. It's really not a competition for me.
I mean,
They well, I get asked to do a lot of things. I've got sectors of the group that want me to go take on surfing. Don't know if I'm really ready for that. Yesterday, they got me to go out in the ocean, body surf a little bit. I did it for probably 6 to 8 minutes. Didn't want to do it, but after I did it, I was trying to sell the other adults, like, look down at that ocean, and everything in your being says, I don't feel like going down there and going through that, but it'll be well worth it. That's what it was for me yesterday. They want me to go surfing. I got Sergo now, which is Bella's brother. He wants me to take him golfing today. I've got Seth, who you'll meet later in the show. He wants me to go surfing with him. So really, I'd love to do all these things, but I'm doing nothing. And I'm watching the guys play ping pong downstairs. And yes, it is very competitive, but I haven't been a part of any game. Opening night, the kids were going crazy after dinner. They were playing this game, Spoons or something. They seemed to be having a good time, but I was not in the middle of it. So from a competitive standpoint, it's pretty much been the kids, and the adults have stayed out of it. That may change by the end.
Hey, Bella, tell us about spending time with your grandparents.
Grammy's right here. But I always look forward to spending time with them. Like, knowing they're going to be here is like really special to us, obviously, because we can't get together a lot, especially for Christmas. But we always try and find time to go out to California or have them come here. Obviously, it's a little easier for us to go out to California and see them. But I always have such a good time, especially with Grammy. We've always been so close. I always try and FaceTime them whenever I can, just to see what's going on. But yeah, I would say I talk to them, honestly, more than I talk to a lot of other people in our family, because I love FaceTiming Grammy and just filling her in on everything. And Bob's usually right there next to her.
Jake, same thing.
yeah, I think it is really special to not only get everybody together, but to get everybody together and just know that it all started with Bob and Grammy, and what they've meant being the foundation of the family over obviously my whole lifetime, and just my dad, my uncles growing up, like, just to be here, like last night, sitting at dinner with 22 of us and looking at the end of the table and just getting to see Bob and Grammy kind of take in what they've created, and how appreciative they are of all of that, and how appreciative we are of them. I think it is really special to get this opportunity, just to spend the time with them, and kind of let them, where I'm sure throughout their lives, a lot of times they've been organizing and making sure everything's running smoothly and everything's good. Now they kind of get to take a step back, and that's handled for them, and they can just sit back and enjoy the family. I think it's really special. So yeah, it's very cool.
Bella, when somebody finds out about your family, other than asking for tickets, what are things that people want to ask about being a Boone?
I'd say it honestly depends on like who's asking. For some people, it's a very like oblivious question, and it'll be like oh, does your dad have to go into every game, stuff like that. Or if it's like a boy who plays baseball, it's usually a little bit more like in depth about maybe what's going on. But honestly, I don't know. I literally know obviously as much as everyone else does. So it's a wide variety. But especially being in like around New York, it's obviously a little bit more. It's a well-asked question, but yeah, it's usually not a big deal.
What about you, Jake?
Yeah,
Because your dad and your uncles all had the same thing. Oh, you're Bob's son. I'm sure you get. Oh, you're Brett's son. What do people want to ask just about your famous family?
well, I think coming up playing baseball, playing professional ball the last few years, I think the people I've been around who know my family are kind of baseball people. So it's more along the lines of, maybe they know my dad or they know my uncle or they know my grandpa. And it's more so just like, hey, how are they doing, or what are they up to, or stuff along those lines. In terms of there is the, hey, could you get me some tickets to a Yankees game, or stuff like that. That kind of comes with the territory. But like I said, most of my interactions, once people kind of realize who the family is just more so checking in, like how are they doing, and or maybe they're a little curious. Nothing crazy.
Now, Bella, are you a big sports fan like your dad? Do you live and die with the Eagles?
We were actually just at a game last weekend, I think it was. I really enjoy going to games, especially with him, but I'm definitely not as crazy a fan as him and Brandon are. But I do pay attention, social media and stuff, and I love going to their games. But I would say Yankees, like baseball, is definitely what I pay attention to the most, rather than football.
And Jake, I saw a picture of you on social media.
Yeah.
Rocking Eagles gear head to toe. Was that new gear, or did you already have that?
Look, it might have been borrowed. I think it might have been Sergo's beanie, and Uncle Aaron hooked me up with a hoodie. But with that being said, I don't have any really previous NFL allegiance, and I had a great time at the game. So I might be I could be susceptible to being converted into an Eagles fan. I had a great time there. But yeah, got a picture snapped of me. I think they were trying to get a picture of me, and Uncle Aaron kind of got in the way, but I was strutting across the field with my plate of chicken wings.
How many people saw that picture? How many people texted you?
Oh, well, I probably got a dozen texts while I was sitting at the game, because I had seen the guy take the picture, and then I kind of sat down. Within 5 minutes, my buddy sent it to me. He's like, well, yo, are you at the Eagles game? And then like 10 more of those rolled through. So that was kind of funny.
Brett, because I think I sent you the picture like the second it popped up on my feed.
Yeah, well, I knew they were going to the games, and I saw the pic. I said, "Oh, there's Jake," and I know he'd turn it into that. Yeah, they were trying to get a picture of Snake, and that's the funny thing about it is with the clip was I think a Yankee fan or something put it out, and that was the funny thing. It's like the first thing I saw was Jake. I said, "There's Jake."
Yeah, that's what I saw first. I go, "There's Jake." I go, "Is that
Yeah.
Jake?" Oh, wait a minute, that's Arnie right in front of him.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Look at Snake; he's going viral.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we appreciate you spending time with us on our Boone Holiday Christmas special. Do you guys have any Christmas wishes you want to pass along and New Year's resolutions? And we'll make Jake go first since he's the
right.
smartest Boone because he's the Princeton grad. Don't you have that distinction of being the smartest Boone?
Look, I didn't say it. You said it.
No.
I
I mean, just because your sister went to what's that school?
SC. I don't know.
Something like that. I don't know. In Brandon's teams in going to a bowl game that's better than the USC bowl game. So I'm just going to say Jake's the smartest of all the Boones, West Coast Boones. Bella, I said West Coast Boones.
All right, let's go. Christmas wish. I hope everyone just continues to enjoy our time together and just be grateful for the time we have together. Like, I'm just going to reiterate again how special it is that we could all get together here for this Christmas season. So that's my Christmas wish, is just continue to appreciate this time. And then my New Year's resolution, I heard Brandon's was to bench 225. I think mine's going to be to hit 225 for 15.
I like it. All right, Bella, you're on the clock.
I think Christmas wish wise, Jake said it. Obviously we don't get together as much, so just this time, and honestly everyone, I hope they get to spend Christmas with their families, because I know it's such a busy time of year. But for my New Year's resolution, I think Jake will appreciate this. I think spending less time in my room, in my bed after school. I'm pretty tired, so I usually either have soccer, I'll go to my room, shower, get in bed, and do my homework in bed. And Jake will get home at like 7:30, and he's just downstairs eating alone. And I
gotta socialize.
I don't go
Yeah.
downstairs and
Oh, wait a minute. Touch on that. Now you've got a new housemate. What's it like having a West Coast Boone on the East Coast?
It was actually really fun, especially because all my brothers are at college, so it gets like pretty lonely around there. But it's been really fun. But I definitely want to get downstairs more and just hang out more. But I'm so tired on weekdays, so I think my bed's usually where I'm at.
There you go, because Jake is staying back east during this off season with Uncle Aaron. So we've got some East Coast, West Coast Boone thing going on.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Merry Christmas to you and Happy New Year.
All right, guys.
Chris.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bret, come on. This has been pretty impressive meeting all your nephews and nieces.
Yeah, but at this pace, it's going to take 3.5 hours.
Well, okay, then I'll hurry up. This is the first chance we get a chance to grab all of them.
And
that's why we're breaking this into 2 halves.
We forgot, and I forgot to brief you on that. It is an interesting dynamic with Bella and Jacob, because Jacob's taking an internship in Manhattan, and he's working in the commissioner's office. So he's living with Aaron and Laura, and Bella is like his temporary. It went from cousin to it's more of like a brother-sister relationship now. So they're living together, and they have been for the last couple months. So that's pretty cool. You could tell that they become tighter and
they bonded.
Yeah, and it's cool to see that. So Jake's kind of getting a little of that East Coast flavor right now. So yeah, interesting, but I think really cool to get to spend this time with, at Aaron's place and getting to see his cousins a lot more than he would normally get to.
All right, who do we have coming up next?
We have got my wife Krista and Nick Allen, which is Savannah Boone's husband. No, we got my son-in-law Nick and wife Krista. So I believe they are next up on the Bret Boone podcast.
There
Guys,
you go.
How we doing?
Hello. We're doing good.
Can you hear us? Yes. Let's go.
Yes.
All right. Well, first of
Rich,
all,
what do you got for him, Rich?
Well,
what
first
do you got
of all,
for him?
Nick Allen, welcome back to the podcast. Nice to see you.
Thanks for having me.
And making her debut, the woman that will one day be sainted all across the country because she's got to put up with Bret's nonsense on a daily basis. Krista Boone joining us here on the show. Krista, I am thrilled. I've been begging to get you on the show forever, and I'm so happy we finally got a chance to meet you.
Hi, Rich. Thanks for having me.
Wow. All right, Nick Allen, I asked this to Savannah. How did she warn you that you're going on a Boone family vacation?
Well, I think I remember listening to hers and what she said. I do come from a big family, so I'm kind of prepared for some of this. But yeah, there's a lot of great banter going on around the house right now. So it's very electric. I wish other people can be here and see this because it's so much fun to witness and be around. Because like everyone's just passionate, and it's definitely it's a big Boone Christmas. So it's what you know
what, Rich, that I noticed about this and with Nick and Nick and Savannah got married a little over a year ago. But it's Nick's first kind of trip with everybody. But it seems like Nick's been around forever for some reason. I mean, he just kind of slides in. He knows everybody. He knows all the players in the family, and he just kind of he's been around so much. So I don't feel like this is all new for Nick Allen. I mean, he's kind of been there and done that before. And on his side of the family, he's got a huge family. It seems like all the time I'm seeing posts on Instagram. Savannah's with Nick's side of the family, and they have just as many as the picture that was posted on our side the other day. So Nick's kind of made a smooth transition. He fits in really good.
Nick, does it feel like a locker room at times?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, just got a lot of people just going back and forth in conversation, and that's just kind of what locker room's like. So, like I said, good banter, and we're all enjoying ourselves here. So,
I love you know what I love, Rich?
What's that?
I get Nick's perspective. I get Jake's perspective. That 25-year-old current on the ground in the clubhouse right now. I get that perspective from him. And sometimes I like to ask questions like, all right, tell me what the guys are doing nowadays. And they'll, oh yeah, Boonie, they're just like when you played. And it makes me feel good. Like as much as things have changed, a lot have stayed the same. Then you're going to get my view on things, my perspective. You're going to get Aaron's view on things. Uncle Matthew will chime in, and then you'll get Grandpa. You'll get Dad's view on what he thinks the current state of the game is. So I love seeing the different generations and we're all kind of see similar things, but different, if that makes sense. So that's the neat part of the banter that goes on the baseball side of things.
Now let's talk about on the family side of things, Krista. Tell me what this trip has been like so far.
Oh, wow. Well, it's a huge group. Last night we walked into the restaurant. I think the whole restaurant was staring at the 22 of us. And it's just so much fun. Everyone's laughing and heckling each other. And, we're in paradise. It's beautiful. So it's pretty, we couldn't be at a better place. And we're so lucky. Everyone gets along and we have so much fun. And so it's really awesome.
Now, what's it like to be married to the world's most opinionated man? And then, Nick, I'm going to ask what it's like to be the son-in-law of the world's most opinionated man.
Oh, that's a tough question. You want to get me in trouble?
She's the lucky one. She gets to stay with me.
Bret's always right. So if you just know that, then it's easier. But I think, it's a lot of fun. Things you don't know about Bret is that he wakes up in the morning and he sings random songs.
Hey. You're giving away my secrets.
Yeah,
What's he sing? What's he sing? No, we want to know what he sings.
Like he will sing 1980s commercials, like cereal commercials that he remembers. He has a very good memory. He remembers really weird things. And up to him singing, he's always happy when he wakes up. It's kind of abnormal that he's like, yay, he starts singing. And then he has like funny jokes, but he'll say the joke once and then he'll say it like over and over for about 6 months. But we keep laughing at it because he thinks it's funny. But yeah, he's pretty funny with everyone in the house. He has his little jokes with everyone. And
Nicky
And
Knox.
I'd say for me, I always got to make sure, I'm on top of my game every time I see him because he's just so sharp, witty. And yeah, I mean, it's easy. It's honestly easy for me to be around him and also this family because I think our views on kind of what we believe in all align. So I guess that makes it so easy to just kind of get in the household. But yeah, you got to be on top of your game when you see Bret because like he's just sharp and he's quick to things. So it's definitely a joy to be around him.
So Bret, now we know a little Just for Men, and you like to sing
What are you talking
cereal
about?
commercials.
What are you talking about? Just for Men? Who said anything about? Have I admitted that?
Savannah did. Savannah
Oh,
ratted you out that you
come
color a little
on.
bit.
Just on occasion. Look right now. I think you're, and Krista will attest to this. I always say, Krista, she'll go, hey, you're looking a little gray. I'll say, no, it looks blonde to me. She goes, oh no, that's gray. So right now I'm looking in the camera. You're watching on YouTube here. It looks blonde to me, but I think that's gray. Yes, Just for Men on occasion. On occasion.
But we try not to discuss Bret's hair. It's a sore subject. Like every haircut, he'll ask me 10 times, how does my hair look? And so I've just gone with it looks great. It looks so good because
she knows.
He gets obsessed about his hair. And then he recuts it. So he gets his hair cut. Then he comes home and then he recuts it. And then he asks me to cut it. So then I say, why do you even go? Let's just cut it ourselves. So he gets a little obsessed about his hair.
Now,
but
Nick,
do you know how looks good is the answer.
It looks good right now, man. Yeah.
Nick, do you know how much he pays for his haircut?
How much?
Supercuts, whatever that is. They're up in their prices now too. $34.
He goes to Supercuts. Do you have a different person every time, or do you have one person?
Oh, I have one person. Krista knows who it is.
Supercuts. You can't complain. It's Supercuts.
What's her name, Krista? Sade?
Sade.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm a little worried. Like I don't want to pry, but I need her private number in case she up and leaves Supercuts. I'm not going to know what to do. So I found somebody that really we're on the same page. I come in. I know she knows exactly what I want. We get it done. Consistent. I've never had a bad haircut from Sade. Now I've screwed it up myself, cut it after the fact, but never has she. You know how you come out sometimes from a haircut, you go, what is going on? Were they even trying? I've never had that with Sade. Only me. Oh, okay, now you got me talking too much about hair. This is what Chris is talking about. It's not a thing. That's why when you keep your hair longer, you're never disappointed. You can always go down. You get that short cut, and it's really good. Man, it lasts for about a week. Then it starts to grow out, and then you go, if I just clip it a little bit, I'll go back to that perfect that it was a week ago. Now you're butchered and you're done. That's why you stay away from really short hair. Length is better because it never goes terrible. It can get a little unruly. Do you see where I'm going with the hair and why she always talks about hair? That's why we don't discuss hair in the Boone family.
Nick, did you understand all this?
I understand a lot of it. Yeah. Unfortunately, the last haircut I got wasn't too great, so I need to find a good person to go to.
Sade, she's your girl.
Hey, there it is, right there.
There you go. Now we know the supercuts in what, Rancho Penasquitas or something?
No, Solana
No,
Beach.
Solana Beach. Oh, that one. Oh, she's the best.
Yeah, she is.
All right, Brett, go ahead.
What do you want? All right, we're going to go with the Christmas. Is it a Christmas wish and a
Christmas
New Year's
wish with
resolution?
New Year's resolution.
All right, I had Krista go up first. We got a Christmas wish. What is your Christmas wish?
Can
and
I
what
have
is your-
lots of wishes? Like
You can
it's
have
hard to
anything-
make one wish.
Honey, you're
You can
married
do
to
whatever
Bret
you
Boone.
want.
You could do anything you want.
Okay, so mine are going to sound corny, but I kind of always wish for the same thing.
Okay.
I want everyone in the family to be healthy and full of joy and happiness. Probably my biggest wish this year, it does sound corny, but it's true, is peace on earth. I really hope we have peace. And is that the only question?
No. What is a New Year's resolution?
Oh, I usually have the same one, and I do it every year, and that's to eat less sugar and to snack less after 8 o'clock. Those are my two hard ones: chocolate, sugar, snacks, and
Swedish fish.
No,
She's
I'm
not.
a
No,
Swedish fish.
she's
I'm
not.
a chocolate,
She doesn't.
all
Yeah.
chocolate.
She's not my.
Chocolate
She doesn't
and
have my
chips.
sweet tooth.
So I want to try to cut out the chocolates and chips. Maybe to leave work a little earlier and get to the gym a little earlier and lift some weights. So
Nick Allen, Christmas wishes and New Year's resolution, if you even have one. I'm not a resolution guy. You may be. Go ahead.
Yeah. Christmas wishes, kind of along the lines of what Chris has said. Want everyone just to be happy, to be healthy. And I'd say for New Year's resolution, yeah, it's hard. What the easy thing is to say, I play baseball, so to have my goals there, but I already have my goals there. And it's kind of obvious, play, in the big leagues the whole year and be very successful. But I'd say, I don't know what else I would have. I mean,
It's either going to be.
I got married. That's a big one. So
it should either be, according to Brett, eat more home cooked meals that Savannah makes.
There you go.
Or
Pasta.
make your father-in-law happy.
Amazing.
yeah, her noodles.
Yeah. I've started to cook some steaks, so we kind of are whipping it up around the house a little bit. So if anyone ever wants to come over and eat some of our food, I mean, we're good cooks.
Love it.
They are good. Can I just give a shout out to Nick? We are so lucky to have Nick in our family. Savannah is so lucky to have him. He's just an amazing human. He's got a good heart. He's kind. He's honest. He's hardworking, and he just is a perfect fit for the Boone group. And we're so lucky that he's in our lives. He's so wonderful.
You guys all make it easy and fun. Yeah.
And we're all going to be Braves fans now too, Nick.
That's right.
Yeah, I know. Crazy.
Tomahawk chop. Tomahawk
There you
chop.
go. We're all
Happy
pulling
fast.
for you.
Yeah. Thank you.
All
Thank you. I
right.
appreciate it.
All right, guys.
Hey, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. We'll talk
Merry
to you soon. Krista, you're
Christmas.
coming back on for a full hour one day. I don't care what Brett says.
Okay, I will.
You're in trouble, Boone.
I'll tell you all his secrets that he
Yes.
doesn't say on the
No, I
podcast.
don't like that. I
I'll
don't
let
like
it all
that.
out.
I don't
I
like
Way
can't
more
wait to
than
hear.
singing in commercials.
Yeah, I can't wait for Brett to start singing some some Fruity Pebbles songs. All right,
All
guys.
right,
Thank
thank
you
you.
so much.
See you guys. Rich,
Yes.
We are next up. We're going to have Isabella and Seth.
Hi. Who we're gonna do? Isabel
Hold
and
on.
Seth.
They might be making a change on the set. They're going to
Yeah, I
talk
think
to you
they
about
are.
it. I'm going to take a TV timeout.
You're gonna take. He's gonna take a TV timeout. We're gonna get Isabel and Seth, and again, we're breaking
No,
this
we
into
don't.
two. So we're gonna do. Yep, we're gonna do two different versions of this as we get to meet the Boone family here on the Bret Boone podcast holiday special. So coming up next will be Isabella and Seth. And we'll talk to them for just a couple minutes and get a chance to meet the entire Boone family. 22 of them. 22 of them are on vacation together. So we're getting a chance to meet all of Bret's family. So just let us know when the next ones are ready to go. And we'll bring on, I believe it's Isabella and Seth that'll join us next. And in the second half of the show, we'll have one before. Christmas,
All
then
right.
we'll have one after Christmas. After Christmas, we'll have the second half of the Boone household, which will include Bob Boone, Sue Boone, Aaron Boone,
Matthew Boone.
Matthew Boone. You'll hear all the Boones we talk about during the podcast, right?
Yeah. Who do we got coming up next? There was originally I thought it was Isabella and Seth. Do we have a change up in the program?
I think so. You tell me as soon as they pop on the screen here for those watching on YouTube.
Who do we have? We have Kristen. Oh, okay. We've got the Matthew Boone. We've got Krista Boone and Nixon Boone, the daughter. So we've got a couple special guests. All right. We're mixing up the program here.
Right.
Surprise.
You know, this guys,
But-
this is going to be like one of those family vacation holiday videos you watch 20 years from now. Like, what in the world were those people doing? But thank you so much for joining us. So
Well,
Nixon,
I'm excited. It's the first time we've had Krista or Nixon on the show, and I want to get their take early on the Boone Christmas vacation. Nixon, what do you think so far? So far, so good. What can we improve on? What can we do better for you?
are you having a good time?
Are you having a good time?
Yeah, it's really fun.
What's the best part of it so far, Nixon?
Probably the beach.
Not the people.
What was people at the beach?
Talk louder. I don't know if they can hear you.
No, we can hear you. She said
Oh,
the
okay,
beach
yeah.
is her favorite part so far, right?
Yeah.
What about the people?
Yeah, the people too.
Which ones annoyed you the most, though? Come on, you got 22. Somebody's got to be getting on your nerves, don't they?
Lennon.
Lennon out of the right, and she's
Right. Yeah, because that's her sister. She sees her all the time.
right. Lennon, and I was making this reference yesterday. Lennon's like the puppy. She's the puppy everybody wants to pet the puppy. Everybody wants Lennon's attention. And she picks and chooses who she gives it to. I was lucky last night. I got Lennon for about 15 minutes before dinner. I coaxed her into the corner. We were coloring, but you've got to play your cards right with Lennon, and Nixon's got to deal with it all the time. Nixon's her big sister. So that's an interesting dynamic. Krista Boone, early on, 2 days in, we were talking about the dinner last night.
Oh boy.
We had some spirited debate, but so far for the trip, other than give us, they had a little trouble. Matthew and the family had trouble getting here. Matthew, the night before we all took off, was kind of mocking me because I had to get up at 1 a.m. and get to the airport. We flew out of Tijuana to Puerto Vallarta, and Maddie, they live in Orange County. They live up in Newport Beach. And he said, yeah, don't worry about me. I got a 5-minute trip to Orange County Airport, and we'll be right there. Well, Krista, take it from there. How did your travel, that easy 5-minute trip to the airport and that travel getting to Puerto Vallarta, how did that treat you after your husband popped off to me?
I didn't know he popped off to you.
Oh, yeah, he did. He was mocking me the night before.
Correct. Which set the tone, obviously, because our flight was supposed to depart at 8:10 a.m. Had the girls up and rallying at 5 a.m. Everything was running smooth until just the Southern California weather is awful, as you know.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Just kidding. It's terrible. We were fogged in Orange County Airport until after, I think, 12:30 p.m. We finally got on our plane.
So it was a good 7 hours before being able to depart, but we got here almost unscathed, but there was a huge mishap that happened when we landed. So
Well,
other than that, everything was okay.
What was the mishap?
Yeah, now I want to know what the mishap is.
Yeah, the mishap was terrible. So Lennon, the star of the Boone family, has a bunny that she's had since she was a baby, and that went missing at Puerto Vallarta Airport. So, and it's air tagged, everything. So now it's in the middle of Mexico. That's our goal, to find it while we're here. We're going to do everything possible. I don't like talking about it, an earshot of her, but Matt's taking her inside right now.
It is comedy though, because they air tagged it, right? So we're
we
figuring
air tagged two air tags sewn into this bunny, and so
right. So the bunny's lost at the airport, and they see it at the airport. So they're figuring, how can we get back to the airport, retrieve this thing that's going to make the whole trip much easier for young Lennon.
Well,
then all of a sudden,
at this point.
But then all of a sudden the air tag starts moving. So somebody has the bunny is it at a residence now? I'm not up on the latest.
It's probably 30 miles from us. So we saw it move from the airport a couple hours later. So what I'm guessing is somebody took it, gave it to their child, and now this child's like Christmas is being made, right? But our life is now ruined because Bunny is gone.
Nixon, what do you think? Nixon,
I'm on mom mode of how much I need to pay somebody to go get Bunny in the middle of Mexico. We have a certain address. We don't know how to go about this. Any tips would be encouraged. Maybe we can.
You got to send the
podcast, and maybe Bunny's a Christmas miracle at this point. We'll go get it.
Nixon, what are you making of all this? Are you
Bunny's
rolling your eyes?
sad. What?
Are you rolling your eyes at all this?
No.
It's
No.
That. It's like
She's
this
had
is
it
terrible.
for like a long time, for her first Easter.
We got to
It's
send
in
the
every
leg.
picture. It's Bunny's like
She takes it everywhere.
it's like her third arm. Bunny's like a part of Lennon.
It's been to school. It's been everywhere.
So the reindeer she had in the podcast?
Right.
That's a little replacement. Santa was kind enough to let her touch the reindeer. So we're working on some Christmas magic right now to get her mind off of it. That was a little distraction. So
I think this is a job for Isaiah and the twins.
It might be, yeah. I think Jake would be a good addition.
Yeah, you got to send the leg men after him. It's 100%. Like a hitman crew. Could you imagine though? You go to somebody's residence in Puerto Vallarta, obviously took the bunny from the airport, took it home, and you knock on their door and say, "Yeah, we know you got the bunny in the house.
We're here for the bunny."
What bunny are you talking about? Right. Well, what bunny are you talking about? Well, they don't know you have it air tagged. So obviously it's here. Obviously you took it from the airport. You think they would be honest and say, "Oh yeah, we found that. We didn't know whose it was. We thought it was lost. It was a cool bunny. My daughter loved it. But if it's yours, we'd love to give it back."
That might help the situation.
Yeah, but wouldn't it be funny though if they denied it? If you knew it was in their house, but they said, "Oh, we don't know."
No, we don't have. I don't have any. What are you talking about, bunny? There's no bunnies in here.
Well, here's the thing. Because I have the air tag, I can play the sound from my phone, and the bunny would ring in their house.
Wow.
So we'll say, "Aha, it's right there."
I like this.
This
now
is
it's intriguing.
Spanish, and
I
don't
think
really, my Spanish isn't from 7th, 8th grade. Not the best.
Yeah. Oh, this is quite a conundrum.
Policia might get involved. Cartel. We don't know. This could go south.
I like it.
I know.
Now I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued by it.
This should be a TV show.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, this Netflix is waiting to make a 7-part series about Bunny in Mexico.
I mean, Krista 2.0 might be in jail in Mexico from here on out. But if Bunny's rectified in this situation, I'm okay with that. I'll take one for the team.
There you go.
Hey,
Nixon, let me ask you. Tell me the difference between your dad and your uncles.
Your stepdad. This is a
Your
good one.
your stepdad and your uncles.
Probably. Oh, this is hard.
Just give it to him. It's fine.
Yeah. Tell me about what I'm trying to get is tell me about your Uncle Brett.
Uncle Brett.
Yeah.
He's really funny, and he likes to play a lot of games and joke around with everybody.
So he's the fun uncle.
Yeah.
He's the fun. You're the Funkle Brett.
He's the
Yeah,
Funkle
well,
Brett.
Yeah, but I think a lot of her uncles, they're all fun. But yeah, I'm finding that I am funny. I must really be funny. I mean, that's a theme, or it's just the line everybody's going.
Well, here's the thing, and this might get me in trouble, but I'll go ahead and say it because if anyone knows me, I'll just say what I think, which I think is a good thing. So
Right.
a few years ago, Nixon was a little bit younger, maybe 2 years ago, let's say. And she watches, we watch a lot of Yankees, obviously. And she's watching Aaron get ejected,
yeah,
per usual, on TV. And so the next time Aaron's in town and at our house, she comes up and asks him, "Why are you so angry?" And Aaron's response was pretty classic, though. He said to you, do you remember?
Mm-hmm.
What?
He goes, "It's TV. Everybody's acting."
That is pretty
He was
good.
like, "It's just TV, Nixon. Like, I'm acting. I'm not. You can't believe what you see." And it's true. Out of, no offense, Brett, but out of all the Boones, I'm pretty sure Aaron's like the most low key, even keeled, like sweetest Boone. Like I said, no offense. Even
I think I think
I'd agree with
it's
that.
a good one.
I think that's accurate. I think
I
that's
know.
accurate.
It's
I'll tell
accurate.
you,
I mean,
but I
yeah.
also think when it comes even keeled, I don't know. I might argue that a little bit, but when I think it comes down to, he's the most passionate for sure. When he gets on something, whether it's when he played baseball, when he's managing, when he's watching the Eagles, Aaron is
absolutely.
just the passion when he's always been like that. So
USC, don't get him
no,
started.
absolutely,
Trojans.
absolutely, absolutely.
Friends episodes.
But Nixon,
Seinfeld,
yeah, but Nixon, tell him I'm the funny one. That seems to be the theme.
We're back to Brett.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all about Brett Nixon. Come on, you know that, right?
My apologies.
Yeah. There you go. Well, guys, do you have any Christmas wishes you wanna tell everybody on here on the Boone podcast?
Go ahead.
Nixon, you got a Christmas wish or a New Year's resolution?
Probably that everybody just has like a great year.
All right. I'll take that. Krista?
I'll take that. Krista?
Oh, wow. Well, besides, discovering where Bunny is in the middle of Mexico, obviously that's my Christmas wish. I would probably have to echo what Krista says. I just want everyone to be healthy and happy and joyful. My one resolution always, I feel like, is just to raise good humans, have good kids who are kind and very likable and lovable, and continue down that path of just being a good mom.
There you go.
And wife.
Well,
you know.
Absolutely. Hey, happy holidays to you. Merry Christmas. And we're going to send the posse out to go find Bunny.
Oh, please. Yeah. Any reinforcements we can get down here, I'd appreciate.
There you go. Merry Christmas,
right.
y'all.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Thank you so much. We're having a Boone family Christmas. Brett, what do you think so far?
I think, yeah, pretty much everybody you've seen. You're getting to see a little bit of the personality of each one of them. We got some personalities coming up still to go.
Right.
But yeah, it's cool. Well, I'm sitting here in a room in the back and I can hear them outside on the patio where Savannah's got this queued up. But yeah, it's cool. We got a few more to go. You got some interesting ones to go. My stepdaughters are coming on soon. You're going to get the twins. You're going to get Sergo and Janelle, Aaron's boys. You're going to get my twin boys. Who else is left? We're going to get Aunt Laura will be will be the debut on the Bret Boone podcast. We
Matthew.
got a lot of that coming up. I'm trying to think who's next on my list. I have
My list is completely broken.
I
so
think
you tell me.
Isabella and Seth. Isabella, who is Krista, my wife, Krista, my stepdaughter, oldest daughter, Isabella, and her boyfriend, Seth. So this is Seth's first kind of venture with the whole Boone crew.
Yeah.
Obviously, Isabella's been around, but I think this is Isabella's first trip with the whole Boone crew, but she's been with the Boone crew a lot.
Okay, so we'll do them, and then we're going to take a break.
You got
And then we'll have the second half of this podcast coming up. So we're going to meet Isabella next and Seth, and I believe
Correct.
they're joining us right now here on the Boone Podcast.
they are.
Isabella, Seth, welcome to the Boone Podcast. How y'all doing?
Hi, how are you?
Not as good as you, so I just have to ask Seth before anything else. What did Isabella tell you when she says, "Hey, do you want to go to Mexico with my family for Christmas?"
Oh yeah, so she invited me. I knew there was gonna be a lot of people. I didn't realize we were gonna be traveling with 20 people, over 20 people. I go traveling with my family. I thought we had a big family because I have 4 siblings, so there's like 7 of us that'll travel together. But this is next level.
I think I got you beat on the siblings count now, but yeah.
Isabella, how has this trip been so far?
Oh, just amazing. We had so much fun yesterday. We went swimming. Seth and I were teaching Nixon how to body surf for a long time in the ocean, and it was just a lot of fun. And yeah, it's just been beautiful. I'm really, really happy, really thankful.
Brett, go ahead.
So what do you guys think so far? Talk a little bit, Isabella. Last night at dinner, was that when we walked in, and now as the dad, but believe me, Rich, as when I was younger, in my 30s, I was the worst picture taker of all time. I was that guy. I was always a pain in the ass. I was always take another picture and be finished with it. I don't want it. For the family pictures every year, I'd give them what they got, and then I wouldn't take like a second round because I had enough. Now, as I'm getting a little bit older, I like the pictures. So I'm always convincing the guy that doesn't want to take any more pictures, hey, you're going to love this one day. You're going to appreciate this one day. So we walk into that restaurant. Isabella, explain the scene when we walked into the restaurant last night. Got a bunch of young women with us, and you know how they are. Everybody wants pictures. And I, being the dad, I love documenting it. I wanted the picture as well. I just, I don't have to really ask for it because I got plenty of people that will, but it still gets what I want. So explain the scene we walked in the restaurant last night.
So it's a beautiful restaurant. It's right on the beach. And so there's 22 of us, and it's like, there's not a lot of space in the restaurant. There's just a lot of tables. So we were kind of maneuvering around, and we ended up all just grouping together right with the ocean in the background in a perfect spot. We put all the short people in the front, the tall people in the back.
Where was I? You noticed I was in the back, right?
Brett was in the back. Yeah, no, it was just it was kind of chaotic, but we made it work, and we got some good family photos. So that's the most important part.
Seth, so far, what are you doing? I heard yesterday you taught Sergo, Aaron and Laura's son, how to surf. He got up on his first wave.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He's a trooper, man. Took a couple of hard falls, but he made it through and got his first wave. Once he got his first one, he was good to go. He got a couple on his own after that. I think the funniest part though was watching Sergo's reaction when a sea turtle just came up right next to him. He almost fell off his board into the water. He got so scared.
It's like, what is that? And you're like, it's a turtle.
Yeah, those things are huge though. The head was probably like about 2 feet, which is huge.
Oh wow.
For the sea turtle.
What time did you guys get home last night? We've been talking about it throughout the night. I said I was this far away at about 2:15 from pulling one of my moves when I come and yell at everybody. But I said, nope, I'm going to let the kids be kids for a little while longer. And as soon as I thought that, it kind of settled down and quieted down, and I didn't hear anymore. So What time did you get in, and did you know how loud you were being?
Well, so my watch was dead yesterday, so I didn't know what time it was because also Seth had my phone because he doesn't have a phone right now. And
I bet I had a single piece of technology all trip.
yeah, so I was kind of phone free, time free because my watch was dead, but now
You're on
it's fine.
vacation. You don't need to have no watch.
Exactly. So if I had to guess, I'd say maybe we got back around 2 a.m. or so.
It's a rough estimate.
We found a really fun little like bar right on the beach, and we all went, all the family, all the kids, and the young adults, I should say. And yeah, it was just a great time. And then we got back to the house, hung out for a little bit, and then I think we mellowed out pretty quick because we were all pretty tired.
You know what the difference is between being on a family trip in Mexico and being in the States?
What's that?
It's the drinking age.
Right, it's 18.
So now it goes right. It goes from, hey, we can't go to the bar. You know, we're not 21.
Not
to
everybody's
now,
21.
Now everybody's 21. Everybody,
Yeah.
even though they're not 21. You know, what I'm
Everybody's
saying.
of legal drinking age in Mexico.
Correct. So it's a little bit different of a dynamic.
There you go. All right, I gotta ask Isabella before we wrap up this part of the podcast. Tell me what it's like being around Bret Boone on a daily basis.
What was that?
Tell me what it's like being around Bret Boone, because I only hear half the conversation. You know, he and I are on the phone every day for hours at a time. I hear you come in. I hear your sisters come in. I hear your mom come in. I want to know what it's like on the other side of that conversation in the Boone household.
I mean, it's pretty funny. You know, Bret's a great guy. There's a lot of random questions that he asks. Sometimes he asks, like, for us to help him with things that I'm like, wait, I don't know. It's just funny. There's always a laugh. There's always a joke going on.
He's got the best jokes.
Some of the best jokes that are just the worst jokes you've ever heard that are just so funny. And sometimes there's like a lot of chaos with all the amount of people that live in our house. But at the end of the day, we all make it work and we all get along pretty well, I'd say. And most of the time it's just kind of funny. There's a lot of chicken and there's a lot of fish.
That's the theme. And I'll tell you, you know, it's these girls, Chris's daughters, my stepdaughter, they have been a blessing in my life, Rich. But Isabella can tell you that I'm used to growing up, and Savannah was my only daughter, and Savannah was roughed up by her brothers. So Savannah was kind of like a tomboy, you know, growing up in a baseball family, having brothers. And then all of a sudden I get 3 girls in my life later in life. And man, it's that I sit around and Isabella will tell you, I sit around and I go, I'm going to go crazy. I've got women all over the place and they're talking about Julie didn't call me back to go over to her party tonight. And can you believe that Jenny didn't call and she didn't invite me to this event? And what do I do, Isabella? I just say, why would you want to go to an event you weren't invited to?
Exactly. But Bret, you're not surrounded by all women. You've got Milo. He's a boy dog.
Yes, I do have the dog. Well, I've got women and yeah, pets.
And
Things I don't want. I didn't want Milo. They came to me, said, we can get a dog. I said, absolutely not. We're not getting a dog. I'm not taking care of a dog. I don't want a dog. Now what? He's got me wrapped around his finger. Now he's my favorite of all time.
He's your best friend. He spends more time with Milo than anybody else.
He's the greatest
Milo
dog of all
and Bret,
time.
I think are best friends. Like they are best friends. They go and do their little things together. The other day, I took Milo on a walk in the neighborhood, and Milo's a very particular dog. He really will not walk in the neighborhood because he's so spoiled and only wants to go to the beach, and he wants to walk on the beach and swim in the ocean. So I sent a picture into the group message I have with my mom and Bret because we're always sending pictures of Milo on our walks. It's just a thing we do every day. And so I sent a picture and I got so shamed that I was taking Milo on a walk in the neighborhood and I didn't take him to the beach and buy him a Starbucks pup cup. So yeah, I was neglecting the dog by walking him in the neighborhood and not walking him in the ocean.
Wait a minute, Bret, you take your dog to Starbucks?
Every day.
What?
It depends how I feel. Well, no, yeah, I do, because you know what, I'm not really a Starbucks guy.
Right.
It's fine. You know, I make my own coffee. I don't need.
I've
to go
gone to
get cup.
Starbucks. All you do is complain.
Yeah, but with Milo, especially, you know, I don't know. I'll kind of be walking him on the beach, and me and him have conversations all the time, and I'll say, Milo, would you like a pup cup today? And if he gives me that look and smile, that's how I know he wants the whipped cream cup they give you at Starbucks. So it's an excuse for me to go get a coffee. But I'm really going there for the pup cup, which is actually free when you order the coffee, but I get a coffee in the meantime. Without Milo, I would not go to Starbucks.
I like that. I like that very much. All right, guys, do you have any Christmas wishes you want to pass along, or a resolution?
You want to go first?
So I think my New Year's resolution is going to be to run a marathon. I'm doing a half marathon at the end of January that I'm training for. I think the next step after that is to do a full marathon. Hopefully I can do that this year. It's going to be a long journey. I'm not much of a runner. And then I think my Christmas wish, probably to get a new phone.
It's on the way. His phone was delayed in Dallas, Texas. It was supposed to arrive 2 days before we left for Mexico.
Yeah,
You know, they have a place you can buy them in San Diego. Just in San Diego, maybe. I don't know.
I ordered it online. I would say for my New Year's resolution, just to keep grinding, keep trying my best, and just not like giving up on myself, making sure I stay focused and accomplish my goals. One of my goals for this year is, well, it's happening, but it's still a good goal to have, to graduate from Cal State San Marcos this year, and then get into UCSD for their teaching credential master's program. So those are my goals for the year. And once I get those done, sky's the limit.
Wow. Well, guys, enjoy your vacation. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Right. Well, Bret, this has been fun getting a chance to go behind the scenes. We've learned that you go to Starbucks just to get your dog a pup cup. We learned that you wake up in the morning, you're very joyous, and you sing 70s TV commercials.
Yeah.
We've learned that you do touch your hair up every once in a while, and you're very vain about your hair.
Yeah, it's keep it simple.
And we've learned that you're the fun uncle.
Yeah, I don't know if I necessarily am, but yeah, I'm getting that. I'm getting that across the board.
All right. We want to wish everybody a very, very Merry Christmas. Do you want to give your Christmas wishes?
I don't have them. I might give him on part 2 of the Boone.
Yeah, but this comes out before Christmas, so when people are driving.
My Christmas wish. No, I think, you know.
You want me to give one? I'll give mine.
It's so corny. It's like you really do. You get to stages of life where you just want everybody to be happy and healthy, and that's pretty much it. It sounds so rudimentary, and everybody says that, but it's truth. I mean, I've gotten to live a blessed life. I have wonderful people, wonderful family in my life, wonderful family, friends. And it really, what can you ask for? It's like, no, happiness and healthiness. It's as basic as it gets, but that's my Christmas wish. As far as a New Year's resolution, I think New Year's resolutions are kind of BS because nobody follows them.
That's why we do them every year.
I'm gonna go on who gives a crap? You're gonna go on your fake diet again? Oh, I'm gonna go to the gym more. Gym people love it. You make these. That's how they sell memberships.
That's how they
then you never
go. I join and I never go.
I never make a resolution. You either do it or you don't do it. I don't need New Year's to make a resolution, so I don't have one. I think they're stupid. Move on.
All right, I want to wish everybody a very, very Merry Christmas, except for Dodger fans. There you go.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I'm going to wish everybody a Merry Christmas.
Mine was long-winded. You just jumped right in.
Yeah.
All right.
Merry Christmas, everybody, except for you Dodger fans. We'll have the second half of the Boone family vacation. We're going to meet. We're going to talk with Arnie, your brother Aaron. We're going to talk with your brother Matthew. We'll talk with your sister-in-law Laura, and of course, your mom and dad as well. That's coming up after Christmas. So until then, from all of us here at the Boone Podcast, Merry Christmas, everybody.